Assalamu alaikum. Peace and assalamu alaikum. It's your brother Malcolm Flex TV. We are definitely live. We are live. Man, we got a special broadcast today. And I'm pretty sure we've all heard the news at this point. Wa alaikum salam, uh, brother Collective Minds and the Belizean Bang. Peace to you all. Peace to you all. Yeah, man. Yeah, the city just keep taking nails. Los Angeles, some of you know that is definitely your brother's hometown where I was born and raised and where I grew up, you know. And yesterday I couldn't do a video, man, because that loss is too close to home for me. Kobe Bean Bryant is a cultural icon. And like I stated in a Facebook post yesterday, you know, growing up, when everybody was Jordan fans, you know, we had Kobe in LA, you know what I'm saying? And so many of us he was the next best thing to Michael Jordan, you know. So Kobe Bean Bryant, you know, as some of you know, our brother and his daughter lost their lives in a helicopter crash yesterday, you know, and I don't know if they reported it in the news yesterday, but I know some news did report that yesterday there was a very heavy fog. And I mean, it was a very thick fog, you know, somewhat creepy, right? You know, because by the time I got up to go to a meeting at my job yesterday, you know, I could hardly see 15 to 20 yards in front of me. The fog was that thick yesterday. You know, so according to some reports, you know, where he was, him and the people, the passengers, you know, there was also a thick fog as well that potentially caused this accident. Walaikum salam to you, Brother Ty. And the Belizean Bank said they want to drag him in death. These people ain't human, heartless MFers. Absolutely, you know. It's a sad and wicked thing that after the demise of a beautiful human being, you got white feminists and satanic racists, you know, who don't like our black leaders and icons, want to come out all of a sudden and share their disdain, you know, toward our people. You know, and that's why we tell sisters not to follow these white feminists, you know, because they want to use you to destroy your black man, you know, and beat him down and drag him through the mud. And so what they did was they brought up his old cases that happened in the early and mid 2000s. Okay. Well, alaikum salam to you, Brother Omar. And basically try to slander our brother. And how many of y'all seen the video where the news anchor, I think her name is Allison something, slipped up? She did a Freudian slip. And instead of saying the Los Angeles Lakers, she slipped up and said the Los Angeles niggers. You know, so how many of you all think that she should lose her job for that? You know, so it's weird because when it took place, it was definitely so unreal. When I got the call, you know, that the brother died, it was so unreal. You know, my fiance called me, let me know what happened, because she know that I grew up a Lakers fan. Kobe Bryant was my favorite player growing up. And so it was unreal to the point that you got a lot of people coming out with conspiracy theories. It hadn't even been 24 hours that our brother had met his demise. And people are saying, this is a hoax, this ain't real, and all I could think in my mind is just shut the hell up. Walaikum salam to you, brother Bilal. And I'm just thinking in my head, man, just shut the hell up. Go somewhere, you weirdos. This is a real situation. All of the major news channels are reporting on this. But everybody want to just say anything just out of sensationalism just to be relevant. That's why I was like, man, I couldn't do nothing on this topic yesterday. I was just numb. I remember when this brother came to the NBA. Because I remember when I first became a basketball fan, and I remember when I first became a Laker fan. This is right before Kobe came to the Lakers, when we had Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, Cedric Ceballos, Eldon Campbell, Vlade Divac, and a whole cast of other people, and my grandmother's boyfriend at the time, he's the reason why I'm a Laker fan now. And, he taught me how to dribble. He said, you won't be able to how to dribble if you can't dribble a tennis ball. So he give me a tennis ball and I have to dribble a tennis ball. But I remember when we had traded to get Shaq, we had got Shaq, and then we traded Vlade Divac to get Kobe right after he was drafted to the Charlotte Hornets. So I remember watching basketball when Kobe first came to the Lakers. You know what I mean? I remember basketball when the three-peat and we was in the streets of LA celebrating, 3 different championships. We was in the streets. I mean, I'm talking about in the middle of the streets. Everywhere you went, it was just all out parties. You know what I mean? And just celebration when they brought those championships to Los Angeles. And we was wearing the 3P Los Angeles Lakers shirts. You know what I mean? Jerseys and all whatnot. And basically, if you remember basketball then and as you grew up, it's like you grew up with Kobe. And you seen the trials and stuff that he went through with Shaq, and his wife. And that's another thing that CNN tried to resurrect and tried to bring that information back up, which is a sad thing when we are all mourning the death of this brother. But but so growing up is like we grew up with this man. And then as the brother got older and he was getting ready to go out of the NBA and the brother ended up retiring, if you was a Laker fan, then basketball just wasn't as fun to you anymore. Watching the sport wasn't as fun to us anymore after Kobe left until LeBron James came to the city. Until LeBron came to LA and Anthony Davis and the whole cast, that's when basketball for Los Angeles Lakers fans began to become fun again. But it's a lot of weird stuff starting to surface. I guess Comedy Central had did a cartoon showing Kobe dying in a helicopter crash in 2017. And I find that very weird. You know what I mean? Instead of saying it is conspiracy theory, maybe they had foreknowledge that, that Kobe traveled from Newport Beach to Staples Center every time, you know, he went back and forth in the helicopter, you know. So who knows? You know, who knows, man? I just think that we should definitely not come up with conspiracy theories and thinking everything is a conspiracy, you know, and give his family that respect, give his legacy that respect, because he was a very hard worker in what he did and what he believed in, you know, and he instilled that level of willpower and determination in those who liked him and was a fan of his. You know, that mentality, that Mamba mentality was contagious. You know, so that mentality could have been transferable to anything in life, not just sports, not just basketball, but anything. You can have a Mamba mentality, a killer mentality. You know what I mean? Have a strong willpower, because that's one thing that Kobe possessed, was strong willpower, you know, and he demonstrated that, you know, when he didn't have a strong cast and a strong role players and going to back-to-back championships, you know. And yeah, so the brother had a very strong willpower, you know, and a lot of determination, and wanted to be a winner and be successful at all costs, you know. So I think that we have to look at the qualities and the attributes that our brother possessed and inherit those qualities and apply those attributes to our lives so we can become winners and we can be successful in life. You know, and you know, again, it hurts that we have to have this conversation right now, and it don't even seem real that the brother is gone. You know, him and his daughter, man. So may Allah bless those, and may Allah be pleased with those who tragically lost their lives in yesterday's event. You know, because they said it happened like around 10 o'clock, and I was leaving exactly out of the meeting at around 10 o'clock. And I went to go drive Postmates for a little bit. And yeah, you know, and I got the news, and it's very unfortunate. You know, so we have to continue to show love and appreciation for our loved ones every day, because we never know that if we'll make it back home once we leave the house. You know, Sister Vanessa, you know, lost her husband and a daughter. You know, and I believe they just had a child, another child. You know, so may Allah continue to bless her and her family through this mourning period. You know, yeah. I didn't have any receipts today. You know, I just wanted to touch on this, man, today, and just, you know, because again, you know, I grew up a major Kobe fan, like, but, you know, when I came to Islam, we are taught that, you know, we don't do sport and play, you know, and as I began to learn and get knowledge of self-learn, I started to lose interest in sports, and I wasn't as enthusiastic as I was growing up, you know, because just as Jesus says in the scripture, you know, when you are a child, you do childish things, but when you become a man, you do what men do, you know, paraphrasing, you know. So, yeah, I started to grow up. Even basketball players and football players, they began to grow up, and they no longer have the same drive and passion about the sport that they are in. You know, but Kobe, you know, although he was still involved in the sport because he was coaching his own camp, right? But, you know, he didn't really want to go into the head coaching thing, and he didn't want to go into, you know, the Lakers staff and stuff like that, you know, because he did it for over 20 years. You know what I mean? But so he was like, I'm gonna focus on my retirement, being with my family, run my businesses and. Like that. So he was a very great father, and yeah, man, and just a good all around person, man. Some of the woke people try to get on him, because they felt that he wasn't on the front lines, like he should have been. But that's our job, that's what we are here for. Just as the minister was talking about, like President Obama and black politicians, you can't expect them to be on the front lines fighting for black people. The minister said that that's his job to do. That's for him to do. And so we can't just, now if they choose to, that's a plus. But we don't know what that man was doing behind the scenes. There are pictures with him on social media, with Nipsey Hussle, with Trayvon Martin's parents and stuff like that. And we know he gave to charities as well. So we don't know what this brother was doing behind the scenes. So for us to jump out with our self-righteous selves, trying to find a reason to knock this brother, is sad, man. We do this every time. You know what I'm saying? We have nothing to say about people when they're here, but when they go, we looking for flaws and faults and trying to see what's wrong with them people to say, oh, he wasn't as good as we trying to portray him out to be, which is, it just completely whack to me. It just completely whack to me. And like in the words of Willie D, your mama should be ashamed of you and your daddy should have pulled out. Because that's real talk. It's a lot of sad people that are hurting internally. You know what I mean? They're just miserable. They're so miserable and unhappy. They don't want to see nobody else happy. They want everybody else to be miserable like them. Same thing with these feminists. They want everybody to be miserable like them. You know what I mean? And they want to, and so instead of us celebrating the life of this great icon, they want to tear him down and they want to trash him. I got my coffee right here. So we got to combat that, and we got to battle against that with peace and positivity, man, and prosperity, and keep it pushing, And I think that they're going to have our brother's funeral at the Staples Center because I can't see it happening nowhere else. They had Michael Jackson's, Nipsey's, and probably a couple of other people, but I think they may have his funeral at Staples Center. I'm not sure yet, but it will make sense to have it there. And I've yet to heard anything from people like Shaq, Lil Wayne, Snoop Dogg. 'Cause I know Wayne and Snoop, they're major Lakers fans. Yeah, man. Anybody got any thoughts on this? And also, if you like to come on the platform, I can let me post that, brother. Crazy. That's right. Yeah, now if you want to come on the platform, man, I'll drop a link, man, and you can share your thoughts on the whole situation, man. Man, shout out to Kobe's family. I don't know if y'all can copy that if y'all want. You can copy the link, join on to the chat, and give your thoughts. Because I was just too through yesterday, man. I was numb. I couldn't muster up anything to say. Your brother was just speechless yesterday, man. That one hurt my heart, man. I couldn't believe it, man. Everybody's talking about this, man. Yeah, man. LA just keep taking L's, man. LA just keep taking L's. But yeah, I didn't expect to be long, so if nobody wanted to jump on, man, we gonna end this pretty short, man. But I do appreciate those who tapped in to your brother's channel, and just to hear my thoughts on it, man. Because again, man, I'm born and raised in LA, and I know what the flavor's like out here. Kobe is like a god out here. You know what I mean? And that's real talk. LA is his city. Although he was born and raised in Lower Marion, Philadelphia, went to Lower Marion, but he's a Los Angelino, man, him and his family. Yeah, so we gonna cut this short, man. This is your brother Malcolm Flex TV, man. Y'all stay up, man. Y'all don't forget, to give praises to Allah, and also don't forget to tell your family that you love them, and just stay safe. Peace and assalamu alaikum.